Welcome to Okaloosa Links. In this installment, we will be bringing you some more information about transition services. Specifically, we're going to be talking about high school diploma options and graduation information. Today, we've got Carol Burnich with us. She is a staffing specialist with the Exceptional Student Education Department, and she also serves as one of our transition specialists. So I'm going to turn it over to Carol, and she's going to share some information with you about diploma options and graduation.
Thank you, Melody. I am going to talk today about the high school options you'll have as part of that transition process for your child. Basically, in the state of Florida, there are different diploma options. Some of them are based on the students earning 24 credits, and some of them are based on students earning 18 credits. And all ESE students now in Florida are all working toward a standard diploma. So basically what your options are, and this is also one of the things that you'll discuss every year when you have your child's IEP meeting. You're going to be looking at the standard high school diploma option, which is the traditional 24 credits, the standard high school diploma with the 18 credit option, or what they call the Excel option. And then for students on the IEP who are pursuing what they call an alternate assessment, a modified access points curriculum, they can choose the 24 credit option via the Access and FAA participation, or they can also do the 18 credit option through the Access curriculum and the FAA participation. And then with the students on that Access curriculum, they actually have another option, which is 24 credits, called the Employment Competencies option. So again, this is one of the common topics that are discussed at the IEP meeting every year, and you can designate which diploma option you would like for your child to pursue, or if it's an adult student, obviously they would have say in what they want to pursue. So it is part of the actual transition IEP process. So let's look a little bit at what the difference is between that 24 credit option and the 18 credit option. With the 24 credit option, the students are pursuing their 4 credits of language arts, their 4 credits of math, et cetera, and then they also have some other options as far as different electives they want to take. With the 18 credit option, basically the only difference is they do not need to have a whole credit of PE in order to graduate. They only need to have 3 electives instead of 8. They do not have to complete an online course as a requirement for graduation, and it needs to total up to at least 18 credits, although a student can certainly earn more than 18. As long as they have those 18 credits in the required subjects, they're going to be fine. And it is a diploma option that very often can be completed in 3 years, but if a student needs to take 4 years to earn the 18 required credits, that's perfectly fine. And then all of the other graduation requirements for the 24 credit standard diploma must be met. It's just those things that are deleted that I just mentioned. So also when we start to look at diploma designations, when we develop the student's transition IEP every year, we're going to also consider whether or not they're on a particular type of diploma designation. And we'll talk about things like, is a student pursuing a scholar diploma, or is the student pursuing a merit diploma? And so again, there's different criteria that are based on that to get a scholar diploma, and these also align themselves with the Florida Bright Future scholarship opportunities. So for instance, a scholar diploma is definitely more what we call your college ready diploma, where they've earned a credit in Algebra 2, they've passed the geometry EOC, they've taken the U.S. History and Biology and Algebra 1 EOCs, which are end-of-course exams. You might also find that ESE students participating in AP courses, IB courses, ACE. They might be taking some dual enrollment classes at Northwest Florida State or another college. Those are all things that would be included as coursework for that scholar designation. With the merit diploma designation, that's going to be more a student that's working on industry certifications. Maybe they're taking some classes at Okaloosa Technical College to get certification in automotive or culinary, or maybe they're taking some classes at their school on TV production, or maybe they're doing some things involving pre-engineering or things like that. That might have some industry certifications, your digital IT courses, things like that. So that would be the merit diploma designation. And very often if a student's just a freshman or a sophomore, they may not even know yet if they're going to be pursuing scholar or merit. So that is one of the things we can check as we develop the IEP, where it says no diploma designation at this time. So that certainly is something that can be covered. As part of the high school graduation process too, students have to take those state assessments. And for the students that are not on the Access curriculum, they're going to participate in the Florida Standards Assessment, or the FSA, and you're probably already familiar with that as far as the students taking a reading ELA assessment, and then for the high school students, they'll be doing an Algebra 1 end of course assessment, which is going to also count toward that graduation requirement. For students who are participating on the Access Points curriculum, that is going to be a Florida State Standard Alternate Assessment, and that's given by their ESE teachers, usually in a one-on-one type of a situation, and they will also use that as a measurement to work toward getting their diploma, but they would take a different assessment than the students that are participating in the traditional gen ed classes. One of the new options, too, that the state of Florida has offered as of the last few years is there's now a program whereby an ESE student, and it has to be a student with an IEP, decides that they might want to defer receipt of their diploma. Let's say they're a senior and this was their first year, they decided to take, for instance, Digital Design 1. And they are really excited about the opportunities. If they can complete Digital Design 2, then maybe there's a chance for them to get some industry certifications. Or it may be a student that is going to do some more career and work experience classes, and they are thinking about, if I could just maybe have 1 more year or 2 more years to continue this area, this vocational interest that I have, that would be really beneficial. It might lead toward more industry certifications, or it might help your student be more qualified in the world of work, or if they go into different vocational opportunities. So that's actually called the deferral of the receipt of their high school diploma, and that's pretty self-explanatory. What it means is the student, let's say they're a member of the class of 2019, and they're all ready to graduate, but they decide through an IEP meeting or an interim by May 15th of their senior year that, you know what, I think I'd like to stay around another year. I really want to do something, or I want to go participate in a school to work program, or I want to do some more classes over at OTC. Then what we do as an IEP team is we meet and we say, okay, it sounds like you want to defer receipt of your diploma. So in that case, the student is still a member of the class of 2019. They can still participate in graduation ceremonies, cap and gown, get their senior pictures taken, all those things, but they are just going to come back the next year to take those additional courses they need as they work toward what their vocational or their career goal is. So that's something a little bit different, and it is something that does need to be decided by May 15th of their senior year. They will get a letter from the district in January of their senior year if they're eligible to get this type of a opportunity, and then we talk about it at the IEP meeting or at an interim, and we make that decision as an IEP team. And once the student makes that decision, or the family decides that might be the best option for their student, and then things maybe change down the road, maybe something happens over the summer, or they start that coursework the next year and they decide, no, I don't think that this is something I want to do after all. At any time after they decide they would like to defer receipt of their diploma, they just notify the IEP team, they notify the school, I'd like to go ahead and get my student's his diploma, and they're good to go. Just keep in mind, with the new changes in the state and federal laws though, once a student receives that standard high school diploma, our obligation as a district to educate them ends. Their free and appropriate public education opportunities cease at that point. So especially if you are a parent of a student with a significant cognitive disability, it's really to your advantage to seriously consider that option to defer receipt of the diploma. It could be very beneficial for your child. So after that, there's going to be some additional information that we will share with you on some other resources that you can consider as you talk about what you think you might want to have your student do after they graduate. But again, with it being a transition IEP team meeting, we're all here to support your student in wherever pathway they may take. It may include making suggestions during those 4 years of high school. If they are going to go into the military, the IEP team might suggest, well, how about some ROTC classes? Or if it's a student that they want to be a doctor, then we might look at what they've currently taken in high school and say, you need to take some more science classes, or you need to take some more math classes. So it's an ongoing process to help them be pointed in the right direction based on those post-secondary transition goals. And then as an IEP team, we're going to continue to help them as they look toward graduating, as they look toward receiving their diploma, and what's going to be best for them. So again, this is just a little bit of an overview of what we really focus on as the IEP team as we look at those transition issues when your student gets to high school. So I hope you found the information helpful, and we will surely share more information with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. That's very important information for families to have. Thank you for joining us on this installment of Okaloosa Links, and we look forward to bringing you more information to help guide your student success.